Morning guys, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name's Angela. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Rainbow Ange. We also have a Instagram account and a Facebook page for my little yarn shop, and you can find us there as Yarn and Yarns. So here on the YouTube channel, if you've not visited us before, you'll find videos which entail me chatting about my knitting, my crochet, occasionally spinning and sewing, and also about my day-to-day adventures of being a small yarn shop owner. So today is Monday the 23rd of October, and if you have been by before, and welcome back by the way, if you are a regular visitor here, I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy lives to come along and listen to me ramble on. I have not been that great at being able to carve out time to pop videos up on the channel regularly, so I thought I'd have another go at recording sort of like daily snippets. I did a video like that a little while ago, and lots of you commented and sent me messages to say how much you enjoyed having a little glimpse into the day-to-day runnings of the shop and what I get up to. So I thought maybe I could have another go at doing that. I don't think that will be the format of every video going forward, but certainly for this one. So I've just arrived in the shop. We're changing our opening hours this week. So through the summer we've been opening 10:30 in the morning till 5, Monday to Friday, and then on a Saturday 9 until 2. But I'm changing things round. Now the evenings are starting to get darker, I'm going to open slightly earlier at 10 and close slightly earlier at 4:30, and that will go Monday to Saturday, so we'll be extending our Saturday opening hours as well. We're starting to get busier, so I think there's definitely justification for staying here a little bit longer on Saturday. So I'm here a little bit earlier in the shop. Before I start my day, I thought I'd just quickly show you how absolutely ridiculous I look today. For those of you who love a coordinated matchy, look away now. I've come out today and I have got red hat on. This is the worm pattern, so it's a great big slouchy hat. Knit this a few years ago. I cannot for the life of me remember what yarn it is, but I know it was a British yarn. I know that's not going to help things, but anyway, I've got my purple and pink scarf on. This is my Hitchhiker, knit from Countessa Blaze. I've got a blue coat on, black top, and then down on my feet, I can't see what I'm doing, so look, I've got yellow socks poking out of purple boots. So yeah, I am a walking rainbow today. But do I care? No, I love all the colours. I'm also red-faced and sweaty and wet. It's I've been tromping into town. I needed to get a few bits from the hardware store for when I change the window display later. It's drizzly out there. I'm hot because I've got all the woolies on. Right at the end of my journey the sun came out, even though it had been raining for the rest of the time that I've been out. So I am a hot mess, and of course I'm going to have hat hair. But all is not terrible in my world. I stopped off at a local hole-in-the-wall coffee place, and I bought myself some spiced pumpkin cake for breakfast. I know, it's naughty, it's Monday, do I care? You can tell I don't by the way that I'm dressed. So in the shop going on today, we've got a tiny small class this morning. I have 2 ladies who come along to do a bit of crochet. Sometimes we have a third lady who joins us, but we'll see. She's not regular. We'll see what happens. And then this afternoon I am hoping to change the window display, so I'm going to put some Halloween spookiness in the window later on. So hopefully I shall record a few snippets of that as the day goes along. We'll see what we have time for. Spiced pumpkin cake, by the way, delicious. Oh. Okay, so morning class is done. I just had my 2 regular ladies who came for that this morning, and there was much hilarity around the table when they found out what I was crocheting for the Halloween window. and I've had my lunch. I am just working on hopefully the final few bits and pieces before I change the window for the Halloweeny display. So I thought before I actually take everything out and put everything back in, I'd show you some of the things that we've got going into the window. I've got a couple of bought props. So someone has lent me a giant skeleton, and someone else has also bought me in a nice witch's dress, so which was an old fancy dress costume. So they will go into the window. But some of the additional makes that we've got, I have already shown you if you watched my previous videos. I've got a little pumpkin teddy and a little patch doll. So I'm expanding the pumpkin patch. One of my lovely customers crocheted a pumpkin for us and brought it in on Saturday. You would have seen that if you follow our Instagram feed or our Facebook page. But I decided to make a slightly larger version of the pumpkin that she'd made. So this is a crocheted pumpkin, and the pattern is a free pattern. It's on the Just Poodling blog. But if you pop on over to my Ravelry page, so that's Rainbow Ange, I have got a project page called Just Poodling Pumpkins, and I'm lumping together all the pumpkins that I've made and put in there, and there's a link to the blog. So I made this out of Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino, and I held it double just to make it a bit thicker and bigger, and this is a scrap of Wendy Ramsdale for the pumpkin stalk. So that is the crocheted pumpkin, and I also made 2 little knitted pumpkins, so both the same idea. Again, this one was from the Baby Cashmerino, so it was what I had left after I made that, and this one is from another Wendy Ramsdale yarn. I can't remember what the colourway is, but so yeah, there we go. I've got 3 pumpkins to add to the little pumpkin patch, so that should be quite cute. And of course, they're living in my pumpkin bag. I made these last year. I've still got one left for sale in the shop, but this one is mine. So what else have we got? One of my lovely customers has crocheted me a bunch of ghosts and more pumpkins. So I have got ghosts in this big size and also a mini version of those. So bigs and littles, I've got a whole pile of each. She also made me some pumpkins, which are super sweet. And I also have a few bats and spiders. So there's bats of different sizes, and she's put some spooky red eyes on those. And look away if you don't like spiders. There's this, yeah, really creepy, horrible spider made out of hairy, glittery yarn. Yeah, and again, she's put a couple of red spots on the top there for eyes. So I'm going to make kind of like a Halloween bunting with those. So I'm busy at the moment just crocheting a big long chain to attach those to, and that's the thing that I need to finish first before I do anything with the window, because these will be hanging up against the window, so I need to be able to put those in before I put everything else behind it. So that's those. And then the other 2 things that I've got, and one of them I made ages and ages ago as part of a Halloween costume, but I decided when I was sorting through some things this morning that it'd be perfect for the Halloween window. I have this hat of snakes. So a few years ago, for one of our friends' 40th birthdays, he had a Halloween theme party and I went as Medusa. So I don't even want to think about how long this took, but I knit meters and meters and meters and meters of I-cord. Some of them are stuffed with pipe cleaners so that you can sort of model how they go. Some of them are just flat, and I sewed them to a hat. And yeah, obviously I don't have the full costume on and it looks a bit weird with my normal hair hanging down, but you get the idea. So I've decided that that can go into the Halloween window, And I think in the midst of that, I'm going to put these, which is what was causing the hilarity this morning. I've been crocheting some eyeballs, so I've left that one on its bloody stalk. Yeah. So I think I'm going to have, I can't really show this without, because the eyeballs are going to roll off, but I think I'm going to have the eyeballs sat in, let me try and tip the camera forward a bit. I wonder if that will help. Yeah, kind of. So I think I'm going to have the eyeballs sat in amongst the snakes. Yeah. So that is, I've got a few more eyeballs to finish if I need them. But the main thing is to finish the crochet chain. Then I can get cracking with the rest. So if all works out, thumbs up, keep your fingers crossed for me. I will hopefully have a little video coming up of what the window looks like once it's been changed later on today. So I have just finished joining short bunting number 1. So this is going to go across the side window. So as you can see, I've just attached some of the beautiful ghosties and pumpkins onto a crochet chain. So I've got 3 ghosts and 2 pumpkins on that one, and I'm just going to string that up in the window. So it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have just finished the window, bar a couple of eyeballs that still need finishing. So I thought I'd quickly show you what the window looks like. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Here is the window from inside the shop. As you can see, I've got a massive skeleton that one of my lovely customers lent me. I have got the pumpkin patch in the middle, which you'll see more of when I go outside, and then I have also got a witch's outfit on a mannequin. I have hung the Halloweeny bumpkin bunting. So we've got that bit on the side window, and then I've got a really long one going across the front of the window there. Obviously you can see I've left the leaves hanging. I'm just going to quickly pop outside. So here we are from the outside. You can see I've got my tray of eyeballs. We've got the witch's outfit, and then moving along, I've got the little pumpkin patch with Patch and the pumpkin teddy, and then here is my skeleton. And just to warm him up a bit, I have put him in my earth stripe wrap. Morning guys, welcome to Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock. I'm a bit tired today. I had a rude awakening by the cat this morning. Every now and then she likes to pretend I'm a trampoline before I've woken up. Yeah, that's how my day started. I'm on my way into town before I go to the shop. I have got to pop into the bank, pay in some of our cash takings from the last week, and I also have to pop to the post office. James is away with work for a couple of days, and we had notification that he's got a parcel that needs collecting. So I'm on my way to do that, and then I should be heading to work, open up the shop. I should have a reasonably quiet day today. Had a small needle order arrive yesterday, which I didn't get a chance to unpack because I was busy sorting out the window. But other than that, it should just be customers and a fairly quiet day. So yeah, hoping to maybe get on with finishing up a couple of commissions if things are relatively quiet, but we'll see how things go. I'm slightly less colourful today. I have got on my Kilios shawl, which I knit from Stranded Dye Works. in the Ocean Rainbow colour and Falling Leaves. So blue and blue. I do have a brown hat. This one I showed the other day. It's a simple seed stitch hat which I test knit for Caitlin French, and I have jeans on today, so no colourful socks poking over the top of my boots, so slightly less of a rainbow this morning. Okay, so my chores are done. Post office visit, bank all sorted. I'm now in the shop, so I just need to crack on with the bits and pieces that I've got to do today, which are, as I mentioned earlier, I've got this box to unpack, which is a needle order from yesterday, and then I thought I'd quickly show you some of the projects that I'll be working on today between customers. Oh, before that, while I was waiting for the bank to open, I had a bit of spare time, so I had a little pootle around some of the local charity shops, and I found these really cute Halloween candles. It's because I'm seeing the pumpkins on there, and the candles are pumpkin pie scented. They smell delicious, and they were 50p each in these little glass jars, so I couldn't pass those up. I bought a couple of those, so they'll go in the window, and then next week when the Halloween window comes out, I shall have those, take those home and burn them, because I love candles in the autumn and winter. It's just so nice and cozy. Anyway, projects. So this is what I'm going to be up to today. I have got another Bohemia cowl to sew up. So one of my regular customers, another one, fell in love with this Bohemia yarn, but again has issues with hands, so felt that she wouldn't really be able to cope with the 20mm needles. No problem, I can knit one of those up. So I sat and did that last night. Took less than an hour, so I've just got to sew those two ends together. I made this one slightly differently than the first one. I cast on a few more stitches to make it slightly wider, and that means it will be slightly shorter, so it'll be right up around the neck. And this is how I plan on doing mine when I get round to it. So that should take 10 minutes to finish that one off, and then that will be ready to go off to its new home. And then also today I am planning on casting on the second of mother-in-law's birthday socks. I think I chatted about I did chat about these on my last video. So it's her birthday next Monday. I started these last Friday, needed to get them in the post by Friday ideally. So I finished, apart from sewing up the sock of the heel, I finished the first sock. So just a quick recap: the contrast heel, toe and cuff is from Bergère de France yarn, and the main yarn is an opal yarn. Luckily she has teeny tiny feet, so this one I cast it on Friday night and finished it Saturday night, so 24 hours. So I should have plenty of time to get this done if I crack on. I thought I'd bring it into the shop to cast on today, because although this yarn isn't super dark, it is not as pleasant to cast on in the evening in the dark, so I thought I'd bring it to the shop and do that in daylight, get the cuff done, and then it will be zoom from there. So that is project number 2 that I shall be working on. And then the third one, I am going to go back to this baby cardigan that I'm working on. Again, I showed this in my last video. I've got the sleeves to knit, so with any luck I shall get at least one of the sleeves finished today. I really want to get that one off the needles. It's been on for a little while, so yeah, they're the plans for Tuesday. We shall see at the end of the day how much of that I've managed to actually get done. Morning guys, welcome to this glorious Wednesday here in South Wales. As you can see behind me, we have a beautiful blue sky and sunshine this morning, so I'm heading to work, but I am taking the super long route. So if I go to the shop from my house, the most direct route takes less than 10 minutes, but if I head out 10 minutes in the opposite direction, I get down here to the lovely beach and the pier, and then I can loop all the way back round and go to the shop. It's probably going to take me half an hour or so, but I couldn't resist coming out on such a beautiful morning. problem with being out on such a glorious morning is I don't want to go inside. So I've managed to convince myself to come in from the sunshine and the sea and the beach, which was pretty hard, I have to say. So I'm in the shop now though, and I've got one of my busy days coming up. So I've got two groups coming into the shop today, two of my regular groups. So this morning we've got crocheters, and then this afternoon we've got a mixed group of knitters and crocheters. I think this afternoon will be a bit quieter. I think a couple of my ladies that regularly come along to that one are actually away this week, so but it does mean I probably won't have time to record any more later on today. So I thought before they arrive I'd quickly show you what happened with my progress on the projects that I wanted to get on with yesterday. Yesterday morning was very quiet in the shop, so I did manage to get quite a few things done, picked up in the afternoon, so we had a reasonable day in the end, which was good. But I did manage to sew up the cowl / snood that I was working on, and this will go to its new home this afternoon. So this is knit from the Sirdar Bohemia yarn, which I think they're calling super mega chunky or something strange like that. Knit on 20mm needles, and in my last video I showed you a cowl that I made from another one of the colourways of this. So this one I made slightly differently. I cast on an extra couple of stitches, so it's slightly wider, slightly shorter. So if I put it on, you'll see it sits up a lot closer to the neck, so it will be really nice and cosy and squishy underneath a winter coat. So this, I'm going to make at least one more of these because I want one. And so I'll definitely be making mine like this, so slightly thicker, slightly closer to the neck, but hopefully obviously with it being slightly thicker as well, you can actually sort of pull it up quite nicely for that sort of snood effect, and it does cover the back of your head, so yeah, that's quite nice. So that one will be going off to its new home later on this afternoon when my customer comes in. What else was I going to do yesterday? I managed to finish a couple more eyeballs, which if you follow my Instagram account, so my personal Instagram, Rainbow Ange, I showed a picture of the bowl of eyeballs on there, and there's also one on my Ravelry project page. I also managed to cast on the second sock for my mother-in-law's birthday socks. So I just had to, yesterday I just had to Kitchener the heel on the first sock, which took all of a minute. When I'm working on socks, I don't like to work socks two at a time, but I do try to make sure that when I'm about to finish a first sock, I also have enough time to immediately cast on the second. So in the case of this one, I was at the Kitchener, but I thought until I've got time to sit and do the Kitchener and cast on the cuff for the next one, I wouldn't do it, so that's why that sort of sat around for a bit. But I managed to cast on the cuff, and I also managed to knit down a lot of the leg yesterday evening. So this is my progress on the second sock. I've got about another 10 more rows or so before I put in waste yarn for the heel. This has got my lovely moosey stitch marker on it from my lovely friend Erin. Hello Erin, I know you'll be watching. Yeah, he always lives on my socks. So yes, I have, we're Wednesday today, so I've got 2 more days to get this done. I want it to be in the post on Friday, but I think that's doable. I did all that yesterday without really putting in any effort. James is away with work at the moment, so I've been mostly in the evenings working on the jumper that I'm making him for Christmas, so that it can be a surprise. So that's kind of seen the bulk of my work, but despite that I've still managed to almost get a leg done on that sock. And I think when my knitter class arrives this afternoon, I shall work on the sock, so I think I'll get a good portion of that done today. And then the final project that I was hoping to get a little bit of work done, and I did manage to do a little bit yesterday afternoon, was the baby jumper that I'm knitting. So I've started the first sleeve. I think when you if I showed it before, it was literally maybe where the marker was, just a couple of rows. So I got a good couple of inches done, started to increase out for the sleeves. So that's just the first sleeve, but I'm hoping to once the socks are off the needle, that's my priority knitting at the moment, is to get on and finish these. And before I go completely, I thought I'd just tell you what I'm wearing this morning. So I'm not sure, I haven't watched the video back that I did at the beach. I know it's really bright and sunny, so I don't know exactly what you were able to see, but I did have my sock head hat on, which was knit from a lovely skein of yarn from Electric Carnation, who is a South African indie dyer, and I was lucky enough to win that. I think I participated in a cow on the Pink Hair Girl Knits podcast. And I'm also wearing my coffee date shawl. It's patterned by CC Arman on Ravelry. Lovely. This is like one of the biggest shawls that I've made, and I love it. I'm not particularly a pinky kind of girl, but I wear this one all the time. I think I don't own huge amounts of shawls, but I'm finding of the ones that I have knit, I much prefer either a crescent shape shawl that's quite long, or a big asymmetric. This is a big asymmetric shawl. So yeah, I think I'll definitely knit more of those as we go forward. And then one final thing that I thought I'd share with you that I thought might make you laugh is, while I was out for my morning walk, I was jingling all the way. So when I first took over the shop, I took a ton of stuff home out of the shop, just boxed loads of stuff up. The shop was very cluttered, and if you go back and watch my first videos, you'll see what I mean. But I just boxed up a load of stuff, took it home, and I've slowly over the months been going through those boxes, trying to get it organised. I've bought some of the things back to put in my sale basket. Other things will eventually probably go on eBay and places like that. But I did come across, while I was, sorry for the rustling, while I was reaching around in the boxes looking for something else, I did come across a whole bunch of packets of bells, which I thought would be great to bring back to the shop for Christmas. So there's silver gold, and there's also some like actual bell shape. I don't know if you can see those, it's obviously glaring on the plastic, but they're little bell-shaped bells as well. So these were in my bag as I was walking this morning. So despite it only being October and Halloween hasn't yet been and gone, I have been jingling all the way. And on that silly note, I shall leave you for now. Hi and welcome to Friday. I completely forgot to record anything at all yesterday. I'm not quite sure where the day went to. It just seemed to disappear. Thursday is my busiest day. We have 3 groups in the shop, although I was a bit cheeky and only went to 2. So you may have heard me talk about this before if you've watched my previous videos. When I took on the shop, I inherited the groups, and I also inherited another lady who takes the lead on some of those groups. So she takes the lead on the Thursday evening group. I had full intentions of coming back to the shop, but I had to dash out and do some errands, had to go to the bank, had to go to the post office, and then I needed to pop home to feed the cat, let her out for a little bit. Sat on the sofa, and then, you know, that was my biggest mistake. Didn't want to get back up again. So I had a lazy evening at home instead. I did miss my lovely ladies from the Thursday night group, because that's the group that I actually started coming to the shop as a customer, which obviously then led me on to this journey, and here I am. But yeah, I've been feeling quite tired the last couple of days. Definitely, I think, time of year and all that, but I've got a couple of days off at the start of next week to look forward to, which will be really nice. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't record yesterday, because I did finish mother-in-law's birthday socks, which I could have shown you. But even when I was packing them up to put in the post, it didn't occur to me to do a quick video, so I was obviously having one of those days yesterday. Well, I know I was, because I kept forgetting everyone's names and who I was and what day it was and all sorts. So chalk it up to a bad day, and let's hope Friday's a good one. So today, no groups in the shop, so very quiet from that point of view. I'm expecting a couple of my regular customers, friends, to pop in to see me later for a cup of tea, so that will be nice. I'll get a little bit of an opportunity to sit and knit and natter. Apart from that, I've got a bit of tidying up and things to do around the shop. We had a delivery of some new patterns from Sirdar yesterday, so I've got them all sort of just piled up next to me at the moment, so I need to put them into my inventory and then get them packed away into their respective files. And I think that's probably about it from a shop point of view. I've got some boring like admin and accounts to do today, because usually I stay and do those on a Thursday evening, but because I didn't do those, I'll be on catch up with that this evening. But yeah, looking forward to a pretty quiet end of the week, I think. So that's it for now. If anything exciting happens through the day, then I might pop back to say hello again. So it's a bit later on in the morning, and all of the chores that I was going to do around the shop are done. So I am now going to treat myself to a little bit of time. Probably going to watch a podcast or two, and also I shall be doing a little bit of knitting. I'm actually going to be working on a hat that I started a little while ago from one of the local yarns. So this is a lovely skein of double knit yarn that I was gifted from the lovely Sam, who is the brains behind Yarn from the Farm Yarn. This is 100% Romney yarn, and it comes from a little farm called Slade Farm, which is just the other side of Llantwit Major, which is not too far from here in the same county. So I was gifted last time she came to the shop. She very kindly gifted me this gorgeous colourway that I fell in love with, and I'm working from on this hat. I thought I'd go for something that was just quite simple and textured. So it's from the book Interpretations 3, and the hat is called Looking Ahead, and it is a pattern by Vera Valimaki. So I cast on and I knit the rib, then I put it away because I don't know why I did this, but I started the hat. Here's my progress so far. So there's lovely flashing and pulling going on around the brim, and then it's completely changed. As I get to the texture pattern, the colours are just, I thought it was going to continue to sort of spiral around, but yeah, so fun to knit, so fun. But I decided for some reason to knit on DPNs, and I hate knitting on DPNs. I just don't get on with them. And even though I'm knitting on 4, the stitches keep popping off the end. So I put this away and took it home, thought, oh, I'll swap it onto a circular. But then when I got home, I realised I didn't have a circular in the right size. So I have brought it back to the shop today, and I'm going to knit this onto a circular needle, and then hopefully it will be plain sailing from there. So yeah, with any luck I shall be able to add a few inches on this today, and maybe I shall pop back and show you my progress. So this is what I have so far. So the brim, and maybe an inch or so of the hat. Just having a check, I've got to knit up until the whole thing measures 7.5 inches, so a good couple of inches left to go yet before I start the decreases. So I have just had a delivery arrive. Got a nice box of yarn here, just a small delivery. It's mostly things that customers have ordered, but I thought you might want to have a look. So just need to break into the box. So what I've ordered, this is from a company called Designer Yarns, and they supply me with brands like Debbie Bliss and Louisa Harding, and a couple of my customers have ordered specific things. So in here I've got a bag of gorgeous Debbie Bliss Rialto double knit heathers, and in a nice grey. So I got a couple of bags of that for a customer. And I also have a bag of baby cashmerino, which is one of my really popular baby yarns. So I'd run out of the white colour in that, so I got a bag of that. But to make the order up a little bit, I actually ordered some new patterns and a couple of new yarns. So when I was looking through the catalogue, I found this lovely shawl by Louisa Harding. You can see that, another picture of it on the back, and that's actually knit out of 2 colourways of her Amatola yarn. So I requested the 2 colourways that make that up, so that should be a nice little addition to the shop. And I think I will likely start knitting one of these up for myself soon, as a shop display piece. So yeah, we shall see when I have time for that. But yeah, so now I've just got to unpack this, give the customers who've ordered specific things a quick ring to let them know that they're in, and hopefully a lot of this yarn will go straight back out of the shop again, and on its way to becoming lovely new projects. Morning and welcome to Saturday. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I've just arrived in the shop. Took advantage of our new opening times, so I have been opening at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, but from this week we have switched till 10 o'clock. So our opening hours are consistent across the week now, so it's 10 till 4:30 every day, which I think will be easier for our customers to keep track of. And in all honesty, there was only ever a few occasions where someone was here as early as 9, so I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference to the business. So this is my last day of the week and my last day for 3 days. I am taking a couple of days off, Monday and Tuesday, which I am so looking forward to. The shop will still be open, but I am off up to the Midlands for a concert on Monday evening, so it'll be a nice break. I think I've mentioned been already on the video a couple of times, I've been feeling quite tired this week, so yeah, it'd be nice just to have a couple of days of relaxation and doing some fun things. I'll be here until lunchtime today. So we have our Saturday morning group, which is the main reason that I come into the shop on a Saturday. It's nice to catch up with all the ladies that come along to that group, and also it's nice to have 2 people in the shop when the groups are on, because it means that one person can look after the group and the other can look after any customers that come in. But I'm actually hoping to do a couple of out the back jobs as well this morning. I never really get time to do the bits and pieces out the back while the shop's open, so it means if I've got any tidying or organising to do, I have to stay late or come in early. So I'm hoping to take the opportunity of having Sam here this morning to do a few of those jobs as well. So yeah, but first I am going to make myself a cuppa and grab some breakfast. I also need to sort the window out. So I don't think I've mentioned this before, but we're quite an old building, and we have well, you've probably seen we've got these really big old windows at the front, which is lovely, but it does mean at this time of year we suffer from a fair bit of condensation, because those windows obviously aren't double glazed or even fitted particularly well. So when we have a cold night, then my first job is usually to come in and clean down the window. So I'll just show you quickly what I mean. So yeah, I usually get this kind of condensation on the inside of the window when we have a cold day, which is a bit of a pain, but there's nothing I can really do about that. It's just a job that I have to do. Also overnight, one of our Halloween buntings seems to have fallen down. It's dragging across the floor, so it looks like one of the temporary hooks has come unstuck, so I need to fix that. So that's my first job of the day. Hi, it's Sunday, and I am sat at home in my dining room. You are perched precariously on top of one of my project bags, so I'm hoping to just quickly record this and wrap up the video before you come tumbling off the bag. I just thought that it would be a nice way to round off the video by showing you a finished project. So the hat that I was working on is now finished, aside from weaving in the ends and putting a pom-pom on top. So this is what the hat turned out like. I'm really pleased with the sort of colour and pattern combination in the main part of the hat. The only bit I'm not sure about yet is the brim. In terms of when I wear it. So it looks a bit silly at the moment, the shape of the hat without the pom-pom, I think. So the pom-pom will finish it off. But when I sort of pull the hat on, because the brim's quite big, you get obviously the really fun sort of pooling effect. But then you move up into the sort of variegated part of the hat, and I'm not sure that I really like that. As I say, it may I may feel differently once I've got the pom-pom, and that sort of like balances the shape out. But at the moment, hat hair, I am contemplating folding up the brim and maybe tacking the brim down, because when I fold the brim over so it's not that massive kind of swathe of rib, and you still get the flashing obviously, but I just think it sort of blends in with the sort of variegatedness of the main part of the hat a bit better. So yeah, I'm going to think on that. As I say, I'll make the pom-pom and see what I think after that. And if you've got any thoughts, then obviously let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. Yeah, I've got today off work, and tomorrow. It was a bit strange not getting up and going into the shop. I still woke up quite early. I guess your body gets programmed to wake up when it's time to get up and get going. You get into that habit, don't you? But in an hour or so we shall be heading out to get some lunch, and then we will be up on the train to Birmingham. And I can actually, I've got it on the table here, I'll show you my travel knitting. So this is a project that's been neglected for a little while, but I'm really excited to get it back out again. This is my lovely shawl knit from a beautiful skein of Miss Babs Yowza yarn that was gifted to me by my lovely friend Lisa. Hi Lisa, if you're watching. I cast this on for my birthday back in August. We're now in October, but it got put aside as I was making bits and pieces for the shop. So I'm really excited to have pulled this back out again. Last night I just made sure that I've got everything that I need in my project bag. I'm keeping it in one of my own project bags. This is a scrap of Scottish tweed material, and then I've just put some plain linen effect fabric on the bottom. It is cotton, but it's got that sort of linen effect patterning in the grain. So yeah, this is what I shall be taking with me on the train journey. It's probably going to take us 2.5 to 3 hours to get up to Birmingham, so I should be able to put quite a big dent in that on the way up and on the way back. Yeah, so all that remains to say is thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then please do. And hopefully I shall see you again soon.